Hello, everyone, and welcome to Criminology. I'm Mr. Clarke. I'm your criminology teacher. Just a little bit of background information about me. I've been teaching high school history for over 25 years in central New Jersey, in Middlesex County at Metuchen High School. It's really been my passion. I really enjoy all aspects of history. Making the decision way back in my 20s to be a history teacher was probably the best decision I ever made. My favorite historical figure is Theodore Roosevelt. If you need to contact me at any point in time throughout the semester, the best way to reach me is through the private topic area. You'll become more and more familiar with that as you move forward. Just post to me with your question, and I'll get back to you in 24 hours or less. If you have an emergency, you can submit a support request ticket or call the VHS learning offices. In the private topic area, um, if it's early in the morning, I'll probably get back to you relatively quickly as I'm free in the morning each day from 7:15 to 9:15. Then I teach 5 regular history classes throughout the rest of the day. That's my response time to criminology questions and issues like that. Will be much more quickly in the mornings opposed to the rest of the day when I'm kind of busy. So if you post something at night, for example, a lot of students work in the afternoon and evening on the criminology class. I'll usually get back to you first thing in the morning. You can probably see that in the response time, somewhere before 9 a.m. In addition to that, you should be aware that we'll have live office hours, which I can take individual questions that you might have, anything that you might be working on. That'll be the first Wednesday of each month. Obviously, I realize 8 a.m. is not convenient for everybody, but that's the time I'm free, so I can only offer the time in the window in which I am free. If you have a major issue, obviously the private topic area is certainly a good spot still. In addition to teaching, I like spending time with my family at the Jersey Shore. We're very close to the beach. We travel a lot. I enjoy sports, playing, watching. I coached high school level baseball and basketball throughout my years here in education. My favorite sports teams, even though I'm from New Jersey, are the Dodgers and Rams. Next, we'll talk a little bit about Netiquette. Netiquette is just a fancy term for what you should be doing in regard to our criminology class. Obviously, our class is online and we work on the internet, and hence Netiquette is the proper means in which you should act in regard to our class. Sorry for the brief delay. The lights went out in my classroom automatically. If I'm not moving around the classroom, they go off. So I just want to turn them back on so I'm not so dark in the background here. So again, back to Netiquette. Make sure that when you post anything in a discussion forum, you're proofreading the post. You can post it and then read it. And if you see an error, then go ahead and repost. Same thing too, if you're typing a assignment to me in the Dropbox area, make sure you're proofreading. This is an academic class. There should be no slang. You should always have proper grammar and punctuation, capitalization, things like that. All that's really important and be graded, for academic, strengths, on anything you do. Also, too, when you're working in the discussion forum, always address the person you're speaking to or writing to by their first name. So you're replying to somebody's post, address them by their first name, and always sign your post with your first name. And if you want to include your last name, that's fine too. Also, when you're posting the discussion forum, make a habit of changing subject headings. So you're responding, let's say, to another person's initial post or comment. Change the subject heading to kind of stimulate interest. I'll be modeling this as we kind of move forward in some of the early discussion forums. You'll take notice how I kind of change some of the headings to kind of invite you to respond to a particular topic. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're talking about sports, and let's say you play a particular sport. Well, then change the subject heading to, high school track or volleyball, whatever it might be, or sports in general, whatever you want to do to kind of stimulate additional discussion. Or let's say you have pets, let's say you have a dog or whatever, you make pets the headline or dogs, and kind of get people to kind of comment on things like that. Week 1, keep in mind the criminology work week runs every week from Wednesday, 12:01 a.m. So as soon as Wednesday starts, after the midnight moment, that's when the criminology week starts, and that's when all the discussion forums kind of populate and you can actually access them. And it runs in the Eastern time zone, so if you live in a different time zone, keep that in mind as well. It closes out at 11:59 p.m. on Tuesday, so anything that's turned in beyond that point in time will be marked late. It's pretty cut and dry when things start and end. One thing I always ask is that you prioritize discussion work, as this serves as our interactive classroom. So when you start out your task each week, start out with that and then work on the Dropbox assignments. Secondly, obviously, I'm reading the Dropbox assignments only. I mean, I prefer to get them sooner rather than later. It's easier for me to grade, but they're still on time as long as you get them in by Tuesday. And so if you're pressed for time, work on the discussion work, because your classmates, the other 23 or 24 classmates, are dependent upon interaction in the discussion forum for their own work. So if you're not posting the discussion forum on time, that really holds up the entire class. Each week, discussion forums are pretty much the same format. You're making an initial post about the topic, even if there are, let's say, a series of prompt questions. You can copy and paste and respond underneath those if you wish. You should make a second classmate post. You make your initial post by Friday, a first classmate post by Friday as well, and then the second classmate post is due by Tuesday. We'll be posting this week about dumb laws, which usually live up to their name and they're kind of amusing to kind of read through. Also, make sure you've completed all required tasks from the VHS Student Handbook this week. I put together a little checklist of things you need to do this week. Make sure you've read through the Student Handbook, completed the SH.2 Student Handbook Acknowledgements, which is worth 10 points. If you've not answered the Getting to Know You questions, which are supposed to be messaged to me in the private topic area, make sure you do that as soon as possible. These are worth 15 points. You must introduce yourself in the discussion area. Make sure you make your initial post by Friday, and be sure to go back and forth in the forum, go back and forth in the dialogue with your fellow classmates, which is worth 20 points. The dumb law discussion is worth 20 points. You need to complete a 1.3 pre-test. It's graded for completion, not necessarily what you got right or wrong. An important side note here is about photos. Please add a photo of yourself to your profile this week. It should be a photo of you, not a cartoon or an alternative image, not a group photo, not your pets. A clear photo is the best we can do in terms of matching an image to a name for a person for purposes of kind of to get to know each other. Since it's an online class and it's important for me and your classmates to see that clear image, it helps make an in-person experience more personal. If you have any issues with this, please speak with your site coordinator. I'm sure they can take a snapshot of you and help you to get it posted if you're having any issues. Weekly checklist. It's a great option to organize yourself each week. You may want to copy and paste your checklist into a Word or Google document each week, and you can kind of check off each of the assignments or tasks that you complete. I'll have a little version of this down the bottom. Each week you'll find this document, like the checklist you see below, kind of summarizing the weekly assignments. You can print it, copy and paste, whatever works best for you. This action will ensure that you have completed all the assignments. This is especially helpful for those who are maybe not the most organized of a person. And you can also, I might suggest, complete tasks on a Google Doc or Word document. You can check it for and proofread it for spelling and grammar errors. And then you can copy and paste that response into the correct discussion forum or the correct Dropbox. From time to time, you might be working on a VHS assignment, and you might have a technical issue. You might lose connectivity or might get logged out of VHS, and you go to submit it, and it doesn't save. This has happened to some students over the course of the past few years. So if you kind of work on your own document, then you're not going to lose any of that and just copy paste it in. I think that might work best for most assignments. Here's just your things that you need to do this first week. And that's pretty much it. So remember, communication is really key, especially in an online course. Don't hesitate to reach out to me in the private topic area with any questions that you may have. I wish you the best of luck in the course. I hope you stay well. And I look forward to interacting with you guys over the next 15 weeks.